Hello and welcome everyone to another Civ 5 Deity Let's Play. This time I'm just going to jump into the game with another random Civ and the usual settings, nothing too special. So let's see what we get.
Blessed Isabella, servant of God, Holy Queen of Castile and Leon, your people greet and welcome.
Alright, that's Spain, so that's kinda interesting. It looks like we have a coastal start with 2 sea resources, so that's kinda interesting. So my initial plan for this Let's Play was to show a domination victory, and more specifically honor domination, which is when you don't just wait around for starting with your domination plan, but instead you just go at it basically from turn 1. Well, maybe not turn 1, but like really early, like turn 50 maybe. 50, 60, 70s, that's where you want to start at the latest. I kind of like honor domination because it's pretty much one of the first strategies that I managed to sort of consistently beat Deity back in Gods and Kings. So yeah, it's always been one of my favorites. But okay, let's take a look at our starting position and our starting civilization. So Spain is obviously a very situational civ. It's really good if you find an early natural wonder, and kinda mediocre if you don't. So let's see where this takes us. As for my settling spot, I am definitely going to settle on this hill over there, I think. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. Um, yeah, I mean, I want the hill for the extra production. If I could settle on this forest plains, which would give me the early wheat, but in this case, um, I would not be next to the mountain. So I think this spot is pretty clearly better. All right. Let's see if we can find a natural wonder. I'm kinda hoping that we don't, because if we do, it gets kinda easy, but we'll see. First off is obviously the scout. And what should I research? I mean, I do have 3 wheat over there, so I might want to build an early granary, so let's just go with that. Okay, let's discover the city-state. I'm probably going to want to just buy a couple of these wheat tiles, so the money is always useful. And I guess I might as well lock down my citizens with production focus. Okay, looks like there's a pretty big mountain range over there, which is usually not very conductive to a domination approach, but we'll see. Oh, it looks like France is pretty close. I like
Je
seeing
suis
that.
Napoléon, de France, le militaire le plus intelligent de l'histoire mondiale.
We do not have an embassy yet, so let's not. Alright, just get another scout. And next turn I can buy the wheat tile. Alright, looks like France missed the ruin. And let's just buy the wheat and work that. Alright, mining, that's fine. Okay, France must be somewhere around here. Maybe I can steal a worker. It's pretty funny because my closest neighbor in my last normal LP was France as well, so maybe I get to steal a worker from him again. That would be pretty funny. And what do I want to work here? Unfortunately, I cannot buy the other wheat, but let's just work the whales instead. Looks like there might be another city-state over there, so I'm going to meet that in a couple more turns. And that'll give me enough money to buy another wheat. Alright, yeah, that's France. Okay, what should I build? I kinda want to build a granary as my next building. Although monument would be pretty useful to have as well. But I think I'm just going to start on the monument and then next turn switch to the granary. Where do I need to scout more? Oh, I kinda wanted to send this guy to the city-state, but let's just send the scout over there. Alright,
Приветствую
Russia.
тебя, незнакомец.
Russia wants to buy an
Если
embassy,
твой
that's
ум и
fine.
такт
Shall
Okay, I want the granary. For domination strategies, it's pretty important to get your economy up and running as early as possible, so that's why I'm prioritizing the granary so highly. I don't prioritize the monument that highly because for my honor domination strategy, having the honor opener early is actually not that important as opposed to, let's say, tradition or even liberty. Like the tradition opener gives you extra culture, so that kind of allows you to snowball if you can unlock it if you can unlock that one early. And when going liberty, obviously you would just want to raise the collective rule, so you also want to be as quick as possible. But with honor, you can actually you have a little more time because I mean you pretty much only want to make sure you have military tradition when you attack your first enemy. So and that's pretty easy to do. Alright, so France does have a worker over there that we may be able to steal. So let's see about that. Alright, what do I want to research next? Possibly sailing. But I probably want to just take animal husbandry for now. Alright, that's a worker that I could steal, but unfortunately there are too many warriors around there, so I'm just going to wait around here. Alright, 60 more gold, that's great. Means I can buy another wheat. Alright, and I can probably even buy the last wheat. And I'm going to do that as a matter of fact, because the governor does not expand into these distant tiles very well, even though they're good, so I'm just going to buy that right now. Alright. This guy also wants to give me money. That works. I do not like all these warriors around here, and I also don't like the fact that he's moving his worker away.
Främling, välkommen till Snökonungens rike. Jag är...
The good thing about Orléans, the city right here, is that it's on flat land, so it's going to be pretty easy to take. Alright, can I steal this worker? I might be able to. I'm going to get attacked by 2 warriors and the city, but the city is not very strong. And those 2 warriors, I mean, they're going to do some damage, but I don't think it's enough to kill me, so
Tu
let's
es
just
tombé
try
dans mon
that. And yeah, it worked out. Perfect. Only 1 warrior attacked me, so yeah. Let's just run away. Okay, are there any barbarians here that we have to be careful of? Looks like not, so let's just run away. And this warrior can actually stay here for the moment, because he might be able to steal more, if I'm lucky. And now I definitely need sailing. I mean, sailing is not really a great tech to go for when you're going for quick domination, but since all my luxuries are sea luxuries, I kinda have to go for it. And maybe I'll even make a beeline for optics, because Lighthouse is really strong with those sea resources. We'll see about that. Alright, where do I want to scout with this guy? Maybe we can start stealing workers from some of those city-states. Alright, I had to take an unexpected break here from recording, and unfortunately I lost the rest of the audio for the video. So I'm just going to do a little bit of post-commentary here. So as you can see, I just scouted out a little bit more of the westernmost part of the map. And I am also considering right here to change my tag path away from sailing, because I don't really need to hurry up connecting my luxuries, because I'm probably not going to build a second city. The reason for that is that the biggest reason to build a second city when going for honor domination is that you want a frontier city to upgrade your archers and immediately be able to strike. But in this case, I think this is not necessary, because Orléans here is on flat land, and there's all this open terrain leading up to it, which makes me think that I can probably take it with archers. So I'm not really constrained on happiness too much. So I'm thinking that I don't really need to hurry up connecting my luxuries. And on the other hand, I cannot build a caravan, at least not one that I can send to another AI. So that limits my science output a little bit. So I would like to get the library up earlier, just so that I don't fall behind too much there. So I'm just going to change my tag path to writing right there. Alright, we can see a barbarian over there, which is a little annoying because I do want to improve all my wheat over there, but I mean, we can probably shoot it down with the city. Yeah, this warrior just wants to weasel around and see if we can maybe grab another worker. And with this scout, I'm debating for a short moment whether I want to destroy that hand axe, but ultimately I do not, because I just want to steal a worker with that scout and see if Kuala Lumpur or maybe Belgrade down south have one. So yeah, I'm deciding against that. This guy is just scouting out more of the map. Looks like Kuala Lumpur does not have a worker for me to steal, so let's check out Belgrade. And here I think I'm going for a scout, because I really should scout out more of the map, especially what is east of France, because that will decide whether I can attack France and then just keep going with my domination, or whether I have to turn back and like try to take out Japan, or maybe I think Songhai is a little south of Japan. So yeah, scouting is very important for domination. Fortunately, the archer does not seem to immediately go for my worker here, so I can actually start improving my wheat. Now it's a little more annoying though, because now I cannot shoot the archer, so I'm going to have to move away with my worker. I'm debating for a short moment whether I should pull back my warrior, but I decide against it. Scout just needs to check out Belgrade. And we find a ruin, that's pretty lucky. That allows us to just open up honor. Here I'm obviously locking down the third wheat. Looks like the barbarian moved away, and I can't really find it with my radar either, so maybe he's just going away for good. The warrior is just healing up and waiting for another worker. And here I found a faith city-state, so I am debating whether I should go for a shrine right there, but I decide against it because I don't really need a pantheon at this point. I am more interested in, yeah, you know, the other stuff, scouting and getting up a monument. And there's another city-state, and I noticed that there is a worker in the barbarian encampment, which I might be able to take out with my scout and return it to Mogadishu, because it's probably a Mogadishu worker. So that would be a nice amount of free influence. And now I'm finally going for the monument, which is long overdue. Unfortunately, it looks like Belgrade does not have a worker either, so I'll just have to scout around a little bit more. At this point, I just decide to pledge to protect every city-state that I have not protected yet. Or I guess maybe I'm waiting a little bit on that. I think I just forgot to protect Jerusalem. Right, the problem with attacking the barbarian encampment right there is that there is also the brute on Jerusalem's territory, which would probably attack me if I attacked the barbarian encampment. So I decide to first retreat here and wait until the city-state takes out the brute. And here I'm getting bombarded by this barbarian archer. And fortunately, I think I managed to take it out just in one hit, so that's pretty nice. Even get a little bit of culture there. Alright, looks like the brute is taken care of, or at least it wandered off. And here I first want to work the whales rather than the production, just because I do want to grow a little more at the beginning. We can see that France now does have a worker, but unfortunately he also has a warrior who is patrolling the area, so it's a little difficult to steal him. Alright, this brute is going to get taken out by the city-state, so I am safe to attack the encampment, which I do. Finish up the wheat farm. And I can already take first honor policy, other than the opener. I'm also going to move my general towards the warrior, just to help out a little if it comes to a fight with the French. Here we discover Songhai cities, which is good to know. He's fairly close. I mean, there's a mountain range and 2 city-states between him and me. But I guess it's not that far away, so that would be a good alternative if I don't have another city to attack behind France. So now to decide which tech I'm going to go for. I decide for archery here. The alternative would be either to go for sailing, or do I already have sailing? I don't remember. The other alternative would be to just beeline for philosophy right there, because National College would be useful. Alright, here I can finally take out the barbarian encampment. I will survive the archer attack from the archer which has spawned, and I'm also hoping that maybe when I return the worker, it will spawn so that the barbarian archer can retake the worker, so that I can maybe return the worker again, but this does not happen. So a little disappointed, but it's fine. Just making sure that there are no barbarians in the area. Alright, we found another city-state, and it also looks like there is a worker that we might be able to steal. I was initially planning to steal a worker from Belgrade or Kuala Lumpur because those are kind of closer than the other city-state, Mbanza Congo, or whatever it's called. But actually, it should be fine stealing one from Congo, since there's all this open terrain there, which means you can also return to the capital fairly quickly. So I do just that. I hastily protected it, but it doesn't really matter. And I also find a natural wonder here, which is quite useful. That's 500 free gold. I'm debating here what I should do with this unexpected gold. And after much deliberating, I decide on a library, which is a little bit of a waste because I already started building it and already put in a couple hammers. But at the end I decide that it's the thing that I need the most right now, since I already have 2 workers and I probably don't need a lot more and can probably steal some more, most likely. So I'm just going with the library buy. And as I already mentioned, I don't really want to buy a settler, so library it is. I'm also debating whether I should just finish the library manually and then later when I research archery just buy a couple archers, but yeah. Ultimately I decide on the library because I really need more science and to get as quickly as possible to all the text that I need. I mean, I'm going to want optics soon and also the National College at philosophy and then also construction. So yeah, getting my science up is very vital at this point. And I'm also starting to go for a shrine. I mean, it's not necessary to have a religion when going for this playstyle, but it can be sort of useful. I mean, religion is always good for a little bit of happiness, so having one doesn't hurt. And also getting up your faith, just to have more faith later on for like great scientist buys, never hurts. Yeah, we could see down there that France does have a worker in Orléans, but it's kind of difficult to steal it because he's always patrolling with his warrior. So that's a little annoying. And here I'm moving in onto Mogadishu's territory because I am friends with Mogadishu, which means that I can heal 20 hit points per turn on his territory instead of 10 or 15 on normal neutral territory.
C'est toi.
Here I'm just checking whether France would be willing to make peace, because they kinda would be, but on the other hand, since I plan on taking out France as early as possible, I might as well just stay at war. And here I'm just healing up. I forget to reassign my citizen after my city has grown, but I'm just going to do that right now. I think at least. Yeah. Still want to grow, so Wales it is. This worker probably wants to chop the forest in Madrid, so I'm just checking out if the path there is clear. For some reason I can see the worker there, which is kind of weird, but this warrior just needs to heal. Yeah, and here I'm finally grabbing sailing, I think, because that'll line up sort of well with my production, I think, because I'm going to finish the shrine and then maybe squeeze in one archer, and then afterwards I can start churning out fishing boats to connect up some of these luxuries. I already have 2 farms, only 1 more to go. France is being really annoying with his warrior. And here I'm just going to start on the first archer. Another city-state, always useful. Kuala Lumpur wants me to destroy a barbarian encampment, and I might actually be able to walk over there and take care of that, unless, of course, Japan does it first. Should probably protect Kuala Lumpur and Belgrade. So I'm just going to do that at the beginning of the next video. And yeah, I think this video is almost over. So thanks for watching, and next video will be with live commentary again. And it's yeah, now it's done.